Hello, everybody. Dorothy here, professional astrologer. You can find me at DorothyMorganAstrologer.com. And thank you for your support here. I appreciate it. Today, we're going to talk about that moon in Aquarius. I've tried talking about it a few times this morning, and I keep hitting stop and re-recording because, that moon in Aquarius is so analytical and wants to analyze things. And there's there's no emotional content to it. Let's share the screen because I'm not saying that we're not emotional today. I mean, of course we can be emotional. However, that moon in Aquarius wants to analyze things. It does not want to be tied down. It wants to be free and independent and not overly emotional. So if there is something going on that feels really highly sensitive to you and you're having a sensitive day, it's important that the best you can, we're not going to ignore our emotions, but the best way that you possibly can to use this moon in Aquarius is to analyze things, The moon will go into Pisces a little later. That will be on the 29th. The moon will go into Pisces just after midnight. If you're on the West Coast, the moon gets into Pisces today, the 28th, around 9:30 p.m. And it will vary in between your time zone. But the main point of what I wanted to focus on for just this piece today is the moon moving through all of this Aquarius energy. And, it's about really analyzing what is going on in your world. You want to see where this is in your own chart too. The moon moves so quickly that this is going to happen once a month. However, we don't always have Venus conjunct Saturn in Aquarius. That doesn't happen as often as you would think. And the moon coming through to process that. So what it's going to do is, again, give us the information that we need, give us an opportunity, especially if we're feeling overly emotional, gives us that opportunity to step back and look at things from a larger perspective. All right. So that's a personal way of using Aquarius energy. Now, we're also going to see it out in the world because there's definitely Aquarius is about, big, large groups and associations and just, big groups of people. And we're seeing how there's a lot of people being disenfranchised right now, refugees, etc. There is so much going on that this can be very deep and intense for a lot of people. So if that is an issue for you right now too, I would like you just to do your best to engage where you feel is important for you to engage, so you don't feel helpless. However, make sure you take care of your own emotions first. All right. That's going to be super important. So a lot more about that. I always talk about in my Patreon membership. That's where you can come and financially support me so I can continue to do work like this. And here on YouTube, just the thumbs up and commenting. Send it off to your friends and your other social groups. That's how you can support me here. The Astro Dice. Now's the time when you're going to want to ask yourself a question. The Astro Dice are astrology dice. However, it's just great to ask a question. I did that yesterday and it turned out I finally got the call. And I haven't signed a lease yet, but that is happening today. I'm waiting for them to call me to make an appointment to sign the lease. And I'm moving April 1st, right after the new moon in Aries, because it's in my 12th house. But hey, you should see oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry. All right. You should see this roll. This roll is Pluto in Capricorn, which we have. It's been doing this lately. So that means our structures and our foundations, so whatever your question was, what you're thinking, hit pause if you're not sure yet before I start talking. You can hit pause right now. I don't have to pause. Pluto in Capricorn, the way it is actually in the sky, this is Pluto in Capricorn in the first house. This tells me is that, again, you're going to be old foundations, old structures are going away. And first house is like how you project yourself into the world and how the world sees you, honestly. And so Pluto in Capricorn in the first house is about really restructuring and taking your time to restructure how you're presenting yourself to the world and what's important for you. Because that Capricorn is about building a new foundation, but Pluto is like, we need to break down what isn't solid. It's just like when somebody, if you ever watch those home rental shows or ever done it yourself, you know, you open up a wall and all of a sudden it's just a ton of termites. And are they in the foundation? You know, the big solid wood foundations, are they in there? And then if it is, then you start pulling apart and, you know, getting out all the rot and then rebuilding it and shoring it up so you have a strong foundation. That's what Pluto and Capricorn does. Now, Pluto and Capricorn in the first house, again, means what is it that you need to do for you? All right. So find that. Hopefully that will help you. I'm moving into a new place. It's not that old. Never had a place this new before. The simple things in life. Haven't had a washer and dryer in the house I've rented, in any apartment I've rented for over 20 years. And I'm in my 60s. So I'm really done with schlepping to the laundromat. And it's yay. That was on my list. I did the new moon in Pisces. I put that in there, you know, all the dreams that I had. And that was one of them. Washer and dryer in my apartment. Oh my Lord. I finally got it. Boy, that was a hard 10 weeks in a lot of ways. Deck. Let's pull this part. Don't forget that new moon the new moon in Aries forecast is out. I will have it attached as there's a card at the end here, at the very end. I don't know if it's over there, over here. I don't know which way it comes up. It's going to be one of these corners. You'll see it. All right. So what did we pick here? Spirit Keeper of the West. How appropriate. How appropriate, because the West is the sunset. That means things are ending, right? Things are being completed and are over. And so it's important that we let go, we use our inner resources, we spend time finalizing and completing a lot of processes. The lunar phase, you know, just a couple hours from now. So the lunar phase as of, let's just say midday Eastern time on March 28th, all the way until the new moon, which is the in the middle of the night on March 31st and April 1st. Okay. Depends on your time zone. It kind of splits it. But so yeah, and that lunar phase as well is about really distilling the information, surrendering to what is, bringing things, you know, to the surface so we can see what it is, just like that example I just gave you, very Plutonian in a way, but bringing all of these things to a completion, even if there feels like there's a bit of chaos right now, which that's definitely what happens, you know, a lot of chaos. So it doesn't have to be a negative thing, but the chaos and all of the movement and the action, it's just like the very end when you're pushing a baby out, right? It's very chaotic, but then it's done. And then we move from there. So Pluto in Capricorn in the first house, the setting sun, the spirit keeper of the West, the balsamic lunar phase for the next few days. Yeah, this is a great opportunity to tie up an awful lot of loose ends. And watch your mouths today. Mercury moved into Aries last night, and that could make us rather feisty. You haven't seen stuff about the Oscars last night. That was quite wild. I only saw it. I don't watch TV, but I saw it in my newsfeed this morning. So it's pretty weird. Oh, superstars. Don't they have an elite life? All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Thanks again for your support. And I will see you next time. Blessings. Namaste.